Novel, Ancient True Human, Remake, Chapter 1, Crimson Sunset, Crescent Moon Rebirth. Fang Yuan, surrender the spring-autumn cicada willingly, and I shall grant you a painless death. A furious roar tore through the serene silence of the mountain peak. Old Devil Fang, do not even dream of resistance. Today we, the righteous heroes, have united to raze your demonic lair to the ground. This place has long been ensnared by a heavenly net and earthly snare. This time, your head shall surely part ways with your body. Words laden with murderous intent echoed, carrying years of accumulated wrath. Fang Yuan, you wretched demon, to refine the spring-autumn cicada, you slaughtered millions of living beings, accumulating heinous sins that are unforgivable, sins that pile up to the heavens. Accusations as sharp as poisoned arrows pierced the air. Demon, 300 years ago, you shamed me, defiled my innocence, massacred my entire clan, exterminated 9 generations of my kin. From that moment, I have yearned to devour your flesh and drink your blood. Today, I shall make you wish for death. A voice brimming with boundless, bone-chilling hatred resonated. Amidst the righteous hero's intricate siege, Fang Yuan stood, his emerald robes tattered and torn, his disheveled hair flowing wildly, his entire body soaked in blood. The mountain winds howled, flapping the blood-soaked fragments of his robe like a tattered battle flag caught in a fierce gale. Fresh blood ceaselessly gushed from hundreds of wounds on his form. In mere moments, a vast, horrifyingly vivid pool of crimson had gathered at Fang Yuan's feet. Enemies surrounded him from all directions. There was no escape. The die was cast. Death was an undeniable certainty today. Fang Yuan clearly grasped the situation, yet despite imminent death, his face remained impassive, as calm as an autumn lake. His eyes, deep and unfathomable as an ancient, bottomless well, held secrets untold. The righteous heroes besieging him were either esteemed sect masters of high renown and profound cultivation, or young prodigies celebrated across the 4 directions. At this moment, they tightly encircled Fang Yuan, some roaring with indignation, others sneering with hidden malice, some narrowing their eyes with glints of caution, while yet others clutched their wounds, their gazes betraying fear. None were in a hurry to strike, each wary of Fang Yuan's final, desperate counterattack. Thus, the tension lingered for 3 full hours. The setting sun dipped towards the west, its last golden rays casting upon the mountainside, staining the expanse a fiery red, brilliant as a roaring blaze. Fang Yuan, still as a statue, suddenly turned slowly. The heroes stirred, collectively retreating a considerable distance, anticipating a sudden move. By now, the gray-white rocks beneath Fang Yuan's feet were thoroughly dyed a deep, morbid red by his blood. His face, pale from excessive blood loss, caught the evening light, suddenly radiating a strange and dazzling brilliance. Gazing at the scene of the sun vanishing behind the verdant mountain range, Fang Yuan let out a soft laugh, his voice tinged with a hint of poignant regret. Green mountains embraced the fading sun, autumn moon and spring breeze. Black hair at dawn, white by dusk. Right and wrong, success and failure. Turn around and they are not. As these words escaped his lips, a fleeting image of his past life on earth flashed before his eyes, swift as lightning. He had once been a student from Huaxia on earth, who, by a peculiar twist of fate, had transmigrated to this world. 300 years he had endured, swaying precariously, followed by 200 years of unbridled dominion across the mortal realm. Over 500 long, arduous years, yet also years of glorious radiance. Many memories, buried deep within his heart, now resurfaced as vividly as if they were but yesterday, unfolding before his eyes. So, in the end, I still failed. Fang Yuan sighed inwardly, a touch of melancholy, yet no regret. This outcome he had long foreseen. From the moment he made his choice, he had braced himself for this. The so-called demonic Tao, by its very nature, cultivates no good karma, slaughters and sets fires, acts with unbridled arrogance. Heaven and earth refuse it, all beings in the world are its enemies. Yet it is precisely because of this that one can roam freely, unfettered by any chains. If the newly refined spring-autumn cicada proves effective, in the next life, I still wish to be a devil. This thought flickered, and Fang Yuan could not help but burst into hearty, mad laughter, his mirth echoing through the valley. Old devil, what are you laughing at? Everyone, be careful. The demon is on the verge of death yet still seeks to counterattack. Quick, hand over the spring-autumn cicada. The heroes pressed closer. Just then, with a thunderous boom, Fang Yuan brazenly self-destructed, his body transforming into a blinding halo of light that swept away everything in its vicinity. Spring rain drizzled, quietly nourishing Green Mao Mountain. It was late night, and a gentle chill wind softly carried the fine rain. Green Mao Mountain was not shrouded in darkness. From the mountainside to its base, countless flickering lights appeared, like a brilliant silken sash draped across the slope. These lights emanated from thousands of stilt houses. Though not quite 10,000 homes alight, it formed a sizable mountain stronghold. This was Guyu Village, nestled on Green Mao Mountain, adding a rich human presence to the vast, tranquil range. At the heart of Guyu Village stood a magnificent, majestic pavilion. At this moment, a grand sacrificial ceremony was being held. Thus the lanterns burned even brighter, illuminating the interior with resplendent light. May our ancestors bless us, hoping that in this aperture opening ceremony, more youths of exceptional aptitude will emerge, becoming the hope and fresh blood of our clan. Guyu clan leader, a middle-aged man with streaks of gray at his temples, clad in solemn, pure white ceremonial robes, knelt on the light brown floor, his hands clasped in a cross over his chest, his eyes closed in earnest prayer. Facing him was a long, black lacquered dais with 3 tiers, upon which ancestral spirit tablets were enshrined. On either side of the tablets were copper incense burners, from which fragrant smoke curled and lingered. Behind him, over 10 individuals knelt similarly. They wore loose, white ceremonial attire, all clan elders, holding vital positions of authority. After a period of prayer, the Guyu clan leader led the way in turning. His arms spread wide at shoulder height, palms facing the floor, prostrating himself in obeisance. His forehead met the brown floor with soft thump-thump sounds. The elders behind him, their faces solemn, silently followed suit. Within the ancestral hall, only the gentle, rhythmic thuds of foreheads against the floor resonated. Having concluded the grand ceremony, everyone slowly rose from the floor and quietly exited the solemn ancestral hall. In the corridor, the elders breathed soft sighs of relief, and the atmosphere gradually relaxed. A murmur of discussions began to rise. Time truly flies. A year has passed in a blink. The last aperture opening ceremony feels like only yesterday, so vivid in my memory. Tomorrow is the annual aperture opening ceremony. I wonder what excellent new blood the clan will welcome this year. Alas, I hope a youth with grade A aptitude emerges. Our Guyu clan hasn't seen such a talent in 3 years. Indeed, the Bai clan village and Xiong clan village have seen many talents emerge in recent years, especially by Ning Bing of the Bai clan, whose innate talent is truly terrifying. No one mentioned the name Bai Ning Bing without a hint of worry on their faces. This individual possessed extraordinary innate talent, having cultivated to rank 3 Gu Master in merely 2 years. Among the younger generation, one could say he was the sole, undisputed leader. Even the older generations felt pressure from this rising star. In time, he would undoubtedly become a pillar of the Bai clan village, at the very least a formidable expert capable of holding his own. No one doubted this. However, the youths participating in this year's aperture opening ceremony are not without hope. That's right, the Fang branch has produced a talented youth. He spoke at 3 months, walked at 4 months. At 5, he could compose poetry, his intellect extraordinary, his talent surpassing others. It's a pity his parents passed early. He is currently being raised by his aunt and uncle. This is an early bloomer in intellect, moreover, one with great ambition. In recent years, he composed Toasting Wine, Ode to Plum Blossoms, and also Jiang Chang Zi. I've heard them. He is truly a genius. The Guyu clan leader was the last to step out of the ancestral hall, slowly closing the door, upon which he heard the elders' discussions in the corridor. He immediately knew that the elders were discussing a young man named Guyu Fang Yuan. As the leader of a clan, he naturally paid attention to the emergence of outstanding disciples. And Guyu Fang Yuan was indeed the most prominent among the younger generation. Experience showed that those with extraordinary innate talents from a young age, such as the ability to remember everything after a single glance, or possessing extraordinary strength like an adult, etc., often possessed excellent cultivation aptitude. If this person tests as grade A aptitude and is properly nurtured, he might not necessarily be unable to contend with Bai Ningbing. Even if he is grade B aptitude, he will surely be able to stand on his own in the future, becoming a vanguard of the Guyu clan. And given his early intelligence, the possibility of grade B aptitude is low. He is very likely grade A. As this thought arose, a subtle, knowing smile involuntarily appeared at the corner of the Guyu clan leader's mouth. Immediately after, he cleared his throat and addressed the elders. Everyone, it's getting late. For tomorrow's grand ceremony to proceed smoothly, please rest well tonight and rejuvenate your spirits. Upon hearing these words, the elders were startled. In their exchanged glances, a hint of wariness was hidden. The clan leader's words were discreet, but everyone understood their deeper meaning. Every year, to vie for talented juniors, the elders would dispute fiercely, often to the point of red faces and heated arguments, even incurring minor injuries. Thus, they needed to rest well and conserve their strength, awaiting tomorrow's intense struggle. Especially that Guyu Fang Yuan, whose likelihood of grade A aptitude was exceptionally high. Moreover, his parents had passed away, leaving him as one of the two surviving orphans of the Fang branch. If he could be brought into one's own lineage and nurtured well, it would ensure the prosperity of that branch for 100 years. However, I must give a warning beforehand. Any struggle must be conducted openly and honorably. No insidious schemes or tactics that harm clan unity shall be tolerated. All elders, please remember this well. The clan leader's voice was stern as he admonished them, his sharp gaze sweeping over each person. We wouldn't dare. We wouldn't dare. We shall certainly bear it in mind. We must take our leave now, clan leader. Please do not trouble yourself further. The elders, their minds full of thoughts, dispersed one by one. Not long after, the corridor was deserted. Spring rain, carried by the wind, drifted in through the window. The clan leader walked lightly, stopping before the window. Immediately, the fresh, moist air of the mountain forest filled his lungs, penetrating to his core. This was the third floor of the pavilion. The clan leader cast his gaze outwards, and more than half of Guyu village came into view. At this late hour of the night, most people in the village still had their lamps lit, quite unlike usual. Tomorrow was the aperture opening ceremony, which concerned everyone's personal interests. A sense of excitement and tension enveloped the hearts of the clan members. Naturally, many found sleep elusive. This is the future hope of our clan. In his eyes, flickering lights were reflected, and the clan leader sighed. And at this very moment, a pair of clear eyes similarly gazed quietly at these flickering lights in the dead of night, a heart filled with complex emotions. Guyu village, this is 500 years ago. The spring-autumn cicada truly worked. Fang Yuan murmured softly, his eyes deep, standing by the window, letting the wind and rain beat against him. The effect of the spring-autumn cicada was to reverse time. Ranked 7th among the 10 great divine gus, it naturally could not be underestimated. In short, it meant rebirth. Using the spring-autumn cicada to be reborn, back to 500 years ago, Fang Yuan stretched out his hand, his calm gaze fixed on his pale, youthful, tender hand, then slowly clenched it, forcefully feeling its reality. Beside his ear was the sound of fine rain tapping against the window. He slowly closed his eyes. After a long moment, he opened them again, letting out a sigh. 500 years passed. Turns out it was just like a dream. Yet he knew clearly that this was absolutely not a dream. A peculiar chill rose in Fang Yuan's heart. 500 years ago, meaning by Ning Bing hasn't grown powerful yet. I can still stop him, and I will never make the same mistakes again. A sharp, abyss-deep glint flashed in his eyes.